Tell me your name.
Raymond Pasino,
Spell it for me, please.
Raymond Pasino. Born and raised in Shelby County, Caperville, Tennessee.
Tell me about your time in World War II, where you were, what you did, how you got started. Just tell me the whole story. You're just meeting me for the first time, and I need to know everything about that time. So go ahead and tell it to me.
I finished school in 1943, and they were drafting people. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like that too well because I liked water, and I didn't want to mistake it'd be a soldier or a Marine when I would rather be on a boat. That worked out fine. My dad took me to the downtown Memphis, to the naval training station, not the training station, excuse me, but the where they signed you in. They accepted me. Went home and they said they'd call me in a day or two, picked me up with the boat with a bus with some other people, and take me to Oglethorpe, Georgia. Be to where I'll be active in wherever they send me. They did take time. They took me to Chicago first for training. Lasted about a month and a half. Sent me to Virginia to be sent to the next stop would be what the equipment I'm gonna be on, which I didn't know yet, other than a boat. Train took us to Orange, Texas. I can't think of the name of the lake, but it don't matter. Whether we're building DE destroyer escorts. Man, the ones the group we were in would go and be assigned it. They probably would finish in about a month. And this month was December, getting close to Christmas. They put us on the boat. It was going to send us to Virginia. From there, we were going to get whatever our responsibility was going to be. And that is mainly to chase down submarines. We didn't have guns for big fights, but we did have the right ammunition to get the submarine if he don't get us first. And that's things like that did happen. On the way to Virginia, we had to go behind this outfit where the weather's bad, and they always have some bad storms in South Carolina or North, whichever one it was. It damaged our ship a little bit. Wasn't anybody on the ship that had equipment to check out what it was and how bad it was going to be. They sent us to a dry dock in Boston, Massachusetts. It didn't affect the driving, but we knew something was wrong. And we stayed there. They put us on the dry dock, checked it out, and found out whether your sidewalls on any boat welded together or whatever, boats, well, not boats, welded. Anyway, ours came loose, and it was making a ragged, but it wasn't leaking. It had to be repaired. That took us over. They sent us to I can't think of the name of the town now, but anyway, it was where the submarines were built. And when we got finished with all the repair work, they said we were going to escort supply ships, and we would go to England to see that they get there safe and sound. But not just this one DE. Might have been 10 or 12 of us. Some of us go in circles, but we look close enough around those ships to see that nobody sneaks in there and starts giving us torpedoes. That wasn't right. We were successful. Some of the ships ran across one or two. And if they catch them before they get down there and where they can't hear them, find out what the depth is, and they're gone. They know they got him when they see all so forth come up, and they did the job well. We did that. All this was happening after Christmas. The year would be getting close to. This is making it a little bit tough sometimes. It was getting time for the fighting to start for the Marines and Army men to get up those hills that were put there by the Germans, so they couldn't just have a place to walk up and hide. But they had those concrete that put the guns in it, and they hurt us real bad. And we were still circling. The boats came in from the supply ships. They put them on smaller craft, and they could get up to the sandbank on those ships. They would get out, and that's where we lost most of our men, until they decided that if they could get some airplanes and start knocking those, where the Germans, just people out that little hole, and killing a lot of people. When they made that successful, airplanes came in then, and their job was to blow them up. And when they did that, that was the blow that really helped. My job on the ship was if we were in a fighting position, I was downstairs. I was in the engine room, engineer. If I was happened to be off. Now this is before. I would stay upstairs. If I was off duty, I could go upstairs, and the one plane that hit our ship came in on one side, and if you were on that side, if you're fast enough, you get on the other side. That boat would still be shooting, but he couldn't hit you. So we had two people who were hurt. One of them was hurt pretty bad, but we were small. We didn't have a doctor. We had like nurses. They could give you some first aid, but they couldn't operate. But he lived through it. The other kid had just some scars on him. They only had two people hurt from the time we started in D-Day. Well, it was when we started from the very beginning. 2 people hurt. It was real good. It was passing sheets around to sign us up if we wanted to stay another 10 years or 20 years. I had a couple of friends from Chicago who said, let's stay in and sign up. And I said, well, I like the idea because I enjoyed, thought we would enjoy staying in a little longer. That's when I said, I got a problem. I said, I met a cute little girl back home, and she was a cute little old girl, and I said, I don't know if I can handle 2 years in the Navy, or 15 more. So when we got back, they were in Chicago, and we had talked it over. There was 3 of us. One of them decided to stay. He sort of toughy, and he enjoyed it. Well, all of us did once it was over with, knowing that we won the war. We came back home, and sure enough, we tied up the 2 girls. But this lady that we stayed married 67 years. She just died and passed away in 45, July. Tough blow, real tough. But in 44, having problems with those Germans, my dad died, and it was a bad thing that you couldn't, when you had bad luck in your family, something similar to that. You know, today they would put you on an airplane and take you where your home was. But then we wouldn't expect it for that to happen when you had bad luck at home. It was a tough blow, but I lived through it because he had passed away, and my daughter wrote me the letter that he had passed away, and it was 18 days before I could get my mail. And to get mail, you wouldn't get it until you got back. And for us to stay, when we filled up and had groceries, it would last 18 days. And when that 18 days was up, that's when I got my mail about my dad. Bad situation there for a while. When we got out, folks had a grocery store, and of course my dad had passed, and mother couldn't run it by herself. She said, you want to take the store? And I told her, yeah. That was in Caperville, and I ran it for 27 years. Had one son and one daughter. Both of them went to college. I asked my son if he wanted to run the store because I couldn't. I'd had enough of it. Not that I wasn't successful with it, because the family had built it up for us. I said, you take it over if you want, and I'll see if I can't get another job. And drove a dump truck for 15 years. Retired after that. The wife was still there. We both things that we like to do on the side. She liked to play cards with the girlfriends, and I'd go bowling. Time passed on, and I keep thinking about her, but she's gone. I couldn't handle the house by myself. I could boil water, but I never could make it something to eat. Breakfast I could cook, so we had to make some changes, and I wound up here, and this treated me okay. About 75 other people with me, so got plenty of company.
If you had any message to give any young people out there today about serving in the military, what would your message be?
If they can handle it, help your country out. If he had ailments to him, just where he couldn't get around, he could still join up some sites and work with a doctor or some kind of repair work, maybe. I think it'd be a good idea for him to stay with it.
Why would serving in the military be a good idea for somebody?
See the other part of the world, how it lives. If they made some of them do that and move, don't go back where they really lived. There's a lot of things you could do if you didn't want to go back to your home. If you did, you go back to where the people that you were brought up with. I'd say it's good for a few years. I don't know about staying out 30 or 40 years. It wasn't not that long.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you'd like to say to anybody about your experiences in World War II?
If anybody ever wanted to go, I would say get that experience on the ship. It's you're doing a job just like a soldier, a Marine is, but you just do it in a different way. I would say join up. I hope I was some help.
You were good.
But my memory was a bad thing on me.